Trigonometry, the study of triangles and the relationships between their sides and angles. In this video, we will look at how to find an unknown side in a non-right angle triangle using the cosine rule. What the cosine rule requires is the exact same as the area of a triangle. Two sides, seen here as C and B, and the included angle A. What the cosine rule allows us to do is to find the unknown side opposite the included angle called A. So let me say that again. We use the cosine rule to find the unknown side opposite the included angle. The cosine rule is also in our log tables on page 16. If you look at the diagram, we have the two sides C and B with the included angle A opposite the side A. What the cosine rule tells us is that the side A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cosine A. So, A is the unknown side opposite the included angle. B and C are the two sides, and they sub into the formula in 4 different places. And then the angle A is the included angle. Okay, so that is your cosine rule. So example number 1, find the length of the side A correct to the nearest whole unit. So again, we are going to do our checklist. And that's because identifying the different triangles and the different types of solutions that you need to use is very difficult, especially when all the triangles are mixed up. So when we look at this, first thing, is it a right angle triangle where I use sine, cosine, tan or Pythagoras theorem? And you can see here there is clearly no right angle, so it's not that. So is it a non-right angle triangle? Yes, it is. So the first thing we check is, do we use the sine rule? Do we have 2 pairs of opposites here? And you can see when you look at this triangle, we do not have 2 pairs of opposites. So then you go to your plan B. Can I use the cosine rule? Does it have 2 sides and an included angle? And you can see here that we do. We have the length 12. And we have the side of length 13, and then we've got the included angle 47 degrees. So that's the perfect setup to use the cosine rule, and the cosine rule will allow us then to find the side that's opposite the included angle, which is the side A that we are looking for. So get your cosine rule then on page 16 of your log tables. Okay, and then we're going to write it down and use it to build our solution. So we need our 2 sides and our included angle. Okay, so now we need to sub our values in. So what we have then is 12 squared plus 13 squared minus twice 12 times 13 times the cosine of 47 degrees. Now, all of this just goes straight into the calculator. So I have bracket 12 end bracket squared, so use your square button, which is x squared, plus 13 squared minus twice brackets 12 times 13 end bracket, and then multiply that by the cosine of 47 degrees equals 100.2165. Now remember here, what that represents is A squared, but what we are looking for is A, so we're not finished our sum yet. So remember now that that answer is stored in our answer button because we're going to need it in a couple of seconds. So what we have here now is that A squared equals 100.2165, okay? And what we're going to do then to find A is use our balancing method. So my A is squared, so what's the reverse of squaring? It's square root, so take the square root on both sides. So square root and square will cancel each other off. So on the left, I have the A that I'm looking for, and on the right, I need to take the square root of 100.2165. So put that straight into your calculator. So just use your square root button, the square root of, and then just press answer equals. And my answer then is 10.0108. Just check the question then. So we had to find the length of A and leave it correct to a whole unit. So a whole unit here will just be 10. So the length of A is 10. Now example number 2. Find the length of x correct to 2 decimal places. So let's do our checklist. Is it a right-angled triangle? No, it's not. Is it a non-right-angled triangle? Yes, it is. Do I have 2 pairs of opposites for the sine rule? No, I don't. Do I have 2 sides and an included angle for the cosine rule? Yes, I do. So looking here, we can see we have side length 10 meters, side length 12.7 meters, and the included angle 55 degrees, which allows me to find the side opposite x. So get the cosine rule then from your log tables, okay? And then we're going to use the cosine rule to build our solution. Now, our triangle this time is not labeled using A, B, and C. So we need to remember what each variable in our formula actually represents. So remember that the A represents the side opposite the included angle. We have B and C represent the 2 sides, and then we have the angle A represents the included angle. So subbing in our values, firstly we have to remember that the side opposite the included angle this time is called x. X is what we're looking for. So we don't want a squared equals, we want x squared equals. Okay. And now we have our x squared equals, we can sub in our 2 sides and our included angle. So we have 10 squared plus 12.7 squared, subtract 2 times 10 by 12.7 times the cosine of 55 degrees. And then we just put all of that into our calculator. So we have 10 squared, use our square button, plus bracket 12.7 squared minus 2 bracket 10 times 12.7 times the cosine of 55 and bracket equals. So we have 115.60158, we'll round up to 6. So remember here that we're not finished. This represents x squared, not x. Okay? So what we have now is x squared equals 115.6016. So I need to find x. So to reverse the squaring, I need to take the square root on both sides using my balancing method. So square root and square cancel each other out on the left. So I have the x that I'm looking for equals, and then take the square root of the 115.6016 on the right hand side. So again, back to your calculator. Okay, and then just take the square root, so here's the square root button, of my answer that's already in my calculator equals 10.7518. Let's just check how we were to leave our answer. So it's correct to 2 decimal places. So 0.751, so we'll round down. So my answer is 10.75. Okay, and our units here are meters. So my answer is the length of x equals 10.75 meters.